tonight we gonna do some quick gaming news. It's been quite a while since I did a gaming news video, so I just kind of want to reiterate and talk about this whole situation. I think the last one I did was like Silent Hill, which was like a couple of days ago. But WB Games, WB, the owners of the Bugs Bunny and the Daffy Duck and all of that shit, the WB, right? They decide to go into the kitchen like a pair of samurais, and they let their cooks sit on the floor, knees apart, and then all of a sudden they decide to say, hey, just cut off our fucking head right now. Just do that, right? Just turn our necks into cranberry sauce, because they are deciding to put a good bulk of their games behind live service features going forward in the future. And I just keep wondering to myself, what do you got cooked, bruh? Because that thing is burnt to a crisp. That thing is like a folded ass lawn chair of a turkey. All right, you have burnt the meal. The duck is destroyed. What are you guys doing? All right, so the reason why I am reacting this way is because, first and foremost, like I said before in the past, right, you go back to my videos, I said you can make live service work under certain conditions: constant updates, more feedback, updating the gameplay features, listening and having that great gameplay initially and giving people what they want down the pipeline, clear roadmaps. You can do it. It can be done. It's like the motherfucking water boy. You can do it. But it doesn't mean that everyone can do it, which is what we're seeing with PlayStation. So PlayStation is recently confirmed, confirmed reports. So I'm gonna correct myself there because I'm not sure, but there were numerous people reporting on this source, and they were saying that PlayStation is scaling back on some of their games as a service video games coming out in the future. Supposedly this is going to be a test bed. Remember, Jim Ryan had that giant slew of releases that he basically piped his willy on. He decided to say, look, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fuck the competition, we're gonna become Fortnite. I don't know why the gaming landscape really is obsessed with being Fortnite. I understand why. The motherfucking money is there and it's too enticing to let go. They want to chase that bottom dollar. Art imitates life. They want to be them, but they can't be them. Get off the bench. But Jim Ryan was saying, I want to put out a slew of these live service games. There's going to be 12 of them, and they're going to come in the future, and it's going to go well. No, it's not, because you see, what they're doing now is they're scaling back the number of games because they know that live service is very, very hard to do. You cannot emulate success on live service content. Sometimes you get really, really lucky, like Fortnite, Siege, all that shit. Other times you don't, like Babylon's Fall or all the other stuff they tried to put out with live service content, and it wasn't going so well. The fucking Saber Interactive Evil Dead devs, they just decided to go ahead and throw themselves into the pussy trigger and give up. All right, so that's funny to me that WB, they look at Sony, all the reports and all that stuff, they're scaling back live service. You hear Jason Schreier is like super legit now. You can't doubt the man now because he predicted GTA 6 coming into fruition in early December, so he cannot be doubted. But here's the thing, he was reporting on the fact that Sony was getting some reports from other developers and PlayStation Studios, how they tried to force and mandate them to do these live service content games, and it didn't turn out well for them. Developers were getting burnt out, tired of the idea. I think they're waiting to throw Jim Ryan into the ravine. This is why they're saying this test of live service, games as a service, is gonna last all the way till 2026, and then they will evaluate where they go forward from there. To me, that says, look, if this meal flops, I ain't doing no more after this. It's done. It's a wrap. Jim Ryan's gone at this point, right? Let's just move on to what really makes us money at Sony Studios, PlayStation Studios, and that is the fact that we do single player content, which is what is selling so far. I mean, Spider-Man 2 sold 5 million copies in 11 days. All right, it's no contest. What people buy PlayStations for is for the PS5 exclusives. So what makes WB Games think they are built for this? Everybody can't do games as a service. I don't know what you're thinking in the back of your mealy mind, but it's not gonna work out for you. It's not. And look, I'm one of the ones that's excited for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I know that's wild, right? It's like, oh, we're ranting about games as a service. Like I said, I am not anti-micro or anti-games as a service if they can make it work. I feel like if the game is actually great and I want to support that longevity, then I will do so with my bottom dollar. If I'm having fun, why not have more fun with more content? That's how I feel. I support actual great games as a service like Siege. I definitely bought shit from Siege, cosmetics. I don't give a fuck. I definitely did that shit because the game entertained me enough to continue supporting the developer I liked at the time, which is Ubisoft. Now, that was back then, of course. I don't think I bought a Ubisoft game like right now because their single player does not interest me in the slightest. I'm sorry. Well, maybe AC, maybe I'll get Mirage because I mean that game does appeal to me, going back to previous ACs, bringing back some of the fun from those, and I just want to experience that, so I might get Mirage. I might get that. Maybe AC Red. Samurai shit might look a little good, bruv, but still. WB. You got me coughing over here. Holy shit. WB, you're not built for this. Everybody's not built for games as a service. Like everybody can't do it. Look, if you're chasing that Fortnite dragon and you know you're not hitting all the boxes of support with the game, with the multi-layer content that you will be releasing in about years. It's like, look, you're not just making just one game and being one and done. That's why I said live service is the death of the traditional multiplayer. I said that for a reason, because some people want to move on to the next project, and keeping those devs there, you got to have them there for years. You got to have that skeleton crew give the skeleton key, because they're going to be developing that shit for years upon years upon years, and people are going to be mad if they don't get roadmaps. I know, like I said, once again, Evil Dead is the prime example. When it started to get shit updates, that's when people started to complain. Every singular update in a games as a service model needs to be fire, great fire, and if it's not, it ain't gonna last. People's attention span is going to die and drop off, and then they're gonna move to the next big thing. And you better pray that the next big Fortnite or game as a service that's actually interesting, COD, stuff like that, is like not even right around the corner. You better just pray. All right, I don't think they cut out for this. I think what you should do is you're gonna stay the course with Suicide Squad, fix that game up as much as possible, and then drop this entire idea. Because if you go through with it, WB Games, not really the brightest. David Zaslav, not really the smartest man in the chair, considering that he's being found out that he's cutting movies. Batgirl, John Cena's movie that he made, I think it was the animated or live action Looney Tunes that got scrapped. It was a side project. I don't know all the details, but I'm just saying I heard this. David Zaslav, not the smartest guy in the chair. So if you want to fail tremendously doing this whole premise, if you want to be like samurais on the floor with their head chopped off like spaghetti and cranberry sauce, you better reconsider, because the general audience, they want their long-lasting longevity with single player games, something that they'll go back to. You could put in a DLC, you could do like a Witcher Blood and Wine for those, but if you go down this route, you're going to fail. I'm sorry, not everybody cut out for live service, bruh. It's time to accept reality. You know, it's like that meme from fucking the Tekken announcer doing AI on Twitter. It's like it's time to accept reality, my nigga. All right, this is Renegade Operative signing off. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. I just had to give my opinion on how WB Games is progressing forward with live service. I'm sorry, I have no faith in this at all. I will be playing Suicide Squad. I feel like, once again though, like I said, I'm excited for that game. Some games it can work, others it cannot. And if Sony is scaling back, then you're talking about one of the biggest corporations right now on the market for making video games. Even they are like, well, it's time to make this a minor test. That's what your project should have been, just a test bed for other games, while bringing back multiverses and putting in more content, more Mortal Kombat characters, and trying that out, seeing where that goes, seeing how that road is paved, and then maybe you could do it with other projects slowly and gradually while having your single player content, your Wonder Womans out there that you're doing with Monolith. Cool. Destined for failure here. That I don't know what the fuck they thinking. I don't know what half of these devs are thinking half the time when they see the market line. Not everybody could be Fortnite. I will see you guys next time. For real this time. Later.